So before I go into how to factor, we're first going to look at the basic concept behind factoring. The basic concept behind factoring is that when we want to find the area of a rectangle, we don't have to just do this multiplication. We can break up the side lengths in order to make it an easier calculation. So for instance, we can break this side length here so that this is a length of 30 and this is a length of 3. And we can break this one up here so that this is a length of 10 and this is a length of 2. And then we can use that to break the rectangle up into smaller rectangles. And now we have 4 rectangles with numbers that are much easier to multiply together. So we have this rectangle would have an area of 300 because that's 30 times 10. And this one would have an area of 60. And then this rectangle would have an area of 30. And then this rectangle would have an area of 6. And so we can then take those areas and add them together to get the total area of the rectangle, which would be 300 plus 60 plus 30 plus 6, 396 units squared. And so a lot of times that basic principle gets forgotten when we see expressions like x plus 3 times x plus 2. But this is basically the same thing, because what we have is we have a rectangle that has a height of x plus 3 and a width of x plus 2. And all we're doing is cutting a square out of this that has the side length x. And since this is x, in order for this total length to be x plus 2, this has to be 2. In order for this total length to be x plus 3, that has to be 3. And so what we're doing is we're just breaking the original rectangle down into more manageable pieces, because we don't know what x plus 3 times x plus 2 is. And so when we break it into smaller pieces like this, we can say, well, x times x is x squared, so this area is x squared, and this is 2x, and this one over here is going to be 3x, and 3 times 2 is 6. And then just like we did up here, we can take the separate areas and add them together. So to find the total area of this, we can say x squared plus 2x plus 3x plus 6. And we can simplify that by adding 2x and 3x together to get x squared plus 5x plus 6. And so there are a bunch of methods to do this without drawing yourself a square. And so that's what we're going to go into in the next video. But before we did that, I just wanted to address the basic concept of why we do factoring. So another cool thing is that this is not just the basic concept behind factoring, it's also the basic concept behind expanding, because they both, expanding and factoring, come from the same principle. Expanding is taking your side lengths x plus 3 times x plus 2 and coming up with x squared plus 5x plus 6, whereas factoring, which is what we want to focus on for graphing quadratics, is taking x squared plus 5x plus 6 and working backwards to x plus 3 times x plus 2.